favorite memory was last year after KMC beat Eisenhower to go to state. He plans to play football in college. Jackson Daniel. Next is Patrick Dempsey. He's the son of John and Melinda Dempsey, members at St. Thomas. He's played football 7 years and participates in wrestling and tennis. His favorite memories are being a part of the JV team his sophomore and junior years and beating Bishop Carroll, along with going to state, which was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Patrick plans to go to K-State and major in business and finance. Patrick Dempsey.
Business and finance.
Next up is Peyton Gosh. He's the son of Neil and Christy Gosh, members of Magdalene. He participates in baseball and basketball. Peyton's favorite memory, check that, he's also played football for 8 years, is a member of the National Honor Society, and has participated in baseball and basketball. Peyton's favorite memory is beating Bishop Carroll last year and the film at 7 the next morning with the offense. He plans to play baseball at Cowley College. Peyton Gosh. Next, Austin Howard. He's the son of Aaron and Kayla Howard and Leslie and Alan Brinkman. They're members of Magdalene Parish. He's played football for 10 years and participates in baseball, powerlifting, and peer ministry. Austin's favorite memory is beating Eisenhower in sub-state last year to earn a berth to the state championship game. He plans to play football in college. Austin Howard.
The one time I do it.
Next is Kyle Kia. He's the son of Kellen Kia and John Trucco, members at St. Thomas. He's played football for 6 years and participates in basketball and track. Kyle's favorite memories are going to state last year and beating Bishop Carroll last year and this year. He's committed to play football at Oklahoma State. Kyle Kia. Next is Trey Lacey. He's the son of Tyson and Alice Lacey. They're members at Magdalene. This is his first year playing football. He also participates in soccer, tennis, the pickleball club, and the giving club. Trey's favorite memory is his first ever kick against Southeast. He plans to major in mechanical engineering at college. Trey Lacey.
KU offers still apply. KU, Iowa State.
Next is Lizzie Maboya, the daughter of Siegfried and Krista Maboya, members of Holy Savior. Lizzie has managed the football team for 4 years and participates in powerlifting, is a member of the Spirit Leaders Union, and is the assistant editor of the yearbook. Lizzie's favorite memory is beating Bishop Carroll last year at Riverfront Stadium. She plans to attend K-State and major in psychology.
Do you want to start streaming this?
I did go live.
Oh, we're live.
Next up is Noah Schreck. Noah's the son of Mark and
Because it doesn't say you're muted.
Derek Schreck, members at St. Thomas. Noah's played football for 5 years, basketball for 1, and baseball for 4 years. His favorite memory is being
Emma Shidley. Our final PAMI senior is Hazel Zagula, daughter of Jansen and Kim Zagula, members of Resurrection. She's been a PAMI for 2 years and participates in tennis, K Club, where she's the president, National Honor Society, and Ceramics Club. Her favorite memory is exchanging secret sister girls at camp. Hazel plans to major in engineering. She does not have a college selected yet. That's your final football player to introduce. Please welcome James Pugh. He's the son of Grace Pugh and Christopher Anthony. He's a member of Holy Savior. He's played football for 1 year and participates in theater along with powerlifting. James's favorite memory is the huddle group. He plans to pursue a career in welding. Best of luck through this final season of your senior year, along with what's ahead.
We're getting nothing out of this. Why would we get nothing out of this? Oh. Testing.
Test, test.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you as well.
Testing.
Yeah.
Thank you, KMC Pep Band, under the direction of Mark Lenneber tonight.
Hello and welcome. It's senior night here at Stryker Sports Complex as the Cape and Mount Carmel Crusaders enter Week 8 against the Wichita Heights Falcons. I'm Andrew Guyer, and I'm joined by my co-host tonight, Mr. Hebert, as Robbie Richardson cannot join us. KMC enters tonight's contest 5-2 on the season. A big loss coming last week against the St. James Thunder up in Lenexa. That one, KMC losing by 20. They got down early and were not able to come back. And that's something that they want to focus on tonight, that run game, being able to pound the rock against this Heights defense. Tonight, KMC will be missing Jackson Daniel, a key rusher and gadget guy for this team. They're going to likely lean on newly returning running back and junior Wyatt Solinger. He was injured for the past 3 weeks. Another key player is sophomore Ken Huff. He has been an outstanding presence on the ground and has been able to break tackles and get plenty of yardage following that. Now, on the other side of the ball, the Heights offense, led by the two-headed monster running back room of Lucas Meyer and Darius Rogers. Those guys are quick, and they can dissect a defense when they need to, or if need be. As well as quarterback Zane Masterson. All of those players for the Falcons can keep it on the ground and punish the defense. And now, as for KMC, their defense, led by senior Kyle Kea and junior Cole Tarantino, both those guys putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and they're going to make him pay. Along now for the DBs for KMC, 3 guys stand out. Junior Owen Young and his teammate Jude Porter, both those guys small for their size, but they can make receivers pay with big hits. Owen Young, famous for laying guys out and making the student section go crazy. And we will see our team captains go out on to the field. Tonight's are Peyton Gosh, Kyle Kea, Dylan Burr, and Austin Howard.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the introduction. This is going to be a fun experience for me. I don't know anything about football, but we'll do what we can, But I do know a little bit about sports, though. I'm going to tell you right now, it's interesting. You get to find out, these coaches for Cape get to find out tonight what their team is made of coming after a loss. They had an earlier loss in the year to Northwest, and they bounced back really good. Who do they play after Northwest?
Following Northwest, they bounced back with that big victory against Wichita Southeast.
Right, and that's what you want to see from your players when they face adversity. What do they come back with? What do they show up the next day with? And this is going to be a test because as you said it, we're missing Jackson Daniel tonight. We're also missing Caden Cornwell, who's done a fantastic job on kickoffs this year so far. But Jackson, like you said, he's the utility guy. He does all the little things. He's really the anchor of the backside of that defense as well. So you lose a leader a little bit, and you lose an offensive threat to a certain degree as they've been running a bunch of Wildcat stuff against Carroll. We'll see what we're made of without him, but hopefully he gets back quickly for next week. Yeah,
Mr. Hebert, we will definitely see how KMC reacts to adversity, something that they're going to need to take with them going into the playoffs next week. This 4A conference is looking very strong. Lewisburg leading it 7-0 in 4A West, and another team to watch out for going into the playoffs is Andover Central across town. Very close to KMC. They only have one loss on the year, and KMC will likely face them in week 2 of the playoffs.
I think right now we're tied for like a 3-way tie for like 5th or 6th or something like that. And I was looking at the point differential on the Acacia website, and it looks like it'd be a giant mountain to overcome to get to the 4 seed. So it looks like we're probably in the 5 or 6 range playing the 12 or the 11 or 12.
Yeah, and there are definitely some strong teams all over 4A, so you never know what you're going to get. And surely those records don't tell the full story for a lot of those teams.
Oh, we found out last week that the record does not tell the full story. When we with St. James, what were they, 2-4?
2-4 coming in that matchup. And they had played some very strong teams up in the north in Kansas City, and they showed us what they are made of, that Kansas City football.
We'd like to welcome our 8th grade future Crusaders cheerleaders to the sidelines this evening.
And before the game, many of the seniors were announced because tonight is senior night. A nice, warm honor for them, showing all the things that they've done at KMC.
Warm for now. Warm for now.
Warm for now, yeah. Let's hope it doesn't get too brisk here. It is October, so you never know with the weather.
The camera person to my right has brought gloves. They're pink gloves, but that's a smart call. That's a great call right there.
Yeah, whatever the color is, they're still very warm. It is 63 degrees at kickoff, looking to drop tonight. Towards the end of the game, it'll likely drop to 57. So not too bad, but you never know in Kansas with that humidity, as they say. Trey Lacey on to kick for KMC. Back to return is Lucas Meyer for the Falcons. And Lacey, almost a laser type of kick. And Meyer trying to bounce around, tackled by Cole Tarantino very quickly as he's taken down near the 10. And we will see what this KMC defense can do bouncing back from that big loss last week.
Well, you know, if you're judging it, the game based on the first kickoff, we're looking pretty good right now. What are we at? Their own 14, got them backed up already. That's a good start.
Yeah, and KMC is definitely going to look to push Heights and just keep them down all night, not let any big runs come as these guys can do damage on the ground. Matterson, the handoff, and that was Darius Rogers on the carry. However, there is a flag on the play, that one near the 15.
Personal foul. B3 at number 62.
And that one will be sent back. That one coming from Jaden Wyatt.
It'll be 1st and 17 from the 7.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah, Heights, a silly penalty from them, setting them back after a excellent run from Rogers.
Looks like Heights comes out with like a double tight end almost a wing back. 2 tight ends, really tight formation. We'll see what they're going to try and do.
And that one going straight to Meyer. Meyer swallowed up very quickly. That's Noah Schreck in on the tackle. And Austin Howard helping him. Both those guys have been a stronghold on this defense.
Austin Howard in on the stop. Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 19.
And like you were saying, Mr. Hebert, Heights coming out with that heavy set, likely trying to keep it on the ground and get as much blocking downfield as possible.
Well, just when we say that, all of a sudden they back up and they spread it out a little bit.
Matterson handing it off. And nothing on the run from Rogers.
Walker. He was tackled by Cole Tarantino. Gain of 1, 3rd and 18.
And 3rd and long for the Falcons. It's going to take a lot for them to convert. And never the position you want to be early in the game, backed up near your own end zone. And Matterson, the pitch, and in trouble. And Rogers luckily finding his way out of the end zone, avoiding a safety, but Mason Collins coming in there very quickly, getting the tackle, setting up a 4th down.
Hey, credit to Rogers on that play. There was nothing there. There was nowhere to go, and he gained a few yards out of it. But, this is a good start for the KMC defensive front. So much of football, from what I've heard, is based upon whether you can win up front, win in the trenches, and that's a good start for us.
On the return for KMC is Noah Schreck. Matterson with the punt for the Falcons. And that one bouncing near the 35. And we'll see what this KMC offense brings to the table tonight. Coming back from that big loss, obviously. And Dylan Burr, he can sling it.
Well, we have a pretty good idea of what Capen's going to do here. My guess is we're going to run the ball.
White Solinger returning tonight, as that's a straight give to the big man, Cal Purvis, coming in at 215 pounds. He's a very strong transfer that KMC acquired over the summer. And Burr, the handoff, that one quick, coming to...
Is that Keller? Oh, no, that's Wyatt.
White Solinger gaining the 1st down for KMC. In the hurry up.
1st and 10, Capen.
Purvis up Main Street, nothing. And this will, like you said, Mr. Hebert, likely the attack that KMC is going to try to execute tonight.
Well, it's kind
pounded
of
up the middle.
It's kind of like a lull you to sleep kind of offensive attack. We're going to run the ball at the middle. We're going to run the ball at the middle, and then all of a sudden we'll break it outside and then see what we got out there for a big gain. But this, if you can get 6 yards up the middle, holy cow.
Yeah, they're going to try to catch this defense on their toes. And Solinger saw it run around 4. 3rd and manageable for KMC.
Tyson Phillips on the tackle. Shy of a 1st down, 3rd and 2.
And once again to Purvis. Purvis making a man miss as the shoestring tackle comes at the last minute. That's Tarek Johnson in on the tackle, stopping the big man.
But the gain is good enough to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Crusaders.
And once again going to Solinger, trucking a man, taking him straight to the turf.
And off to Wyatt Solinger.
And on that last play, Purvis, green grass right in front of him. If it weren't for Johnson, KMC would have 6 right now. Purvis once again. And a big group of players. Results in a touchdown. Cal Purvis adds 6 to the scoreboard.
Well, it's a good start.
You're exactly right. Exactly what KMC wanted.
I wish I had more analysis for you on that, but that was just running the ball. A-gaps, both sides. Nothing's fancy, just toughness versus toughness, and we came out on top on that drive there.
And in on the extra point, that is Ethan DuPont. And the sophomore's extra point is no good. A rare miss from DuPont. He's been nearly perfect on the season, hitting a big 40-yarder earlier in the season. An unfortunate miss for KMC. 6-0 with 7:38 in the first. Now on the ground on that possession, White Solinger picking up around 20 on 3 attempts. Able to just pound the ball like you said. Both these backs are big physical guys, putting the pressure on Heights, forcing them to make the tackle.
John Thuco. John Thuco, please come to the press box. John Thuco.
And Trey Lacey on to kick. Back to
On
return,
kick
that's
for
Meyer.
Crusaders is Trey Lacey. Back deep for Heights is Lucas Meyer.
Meyer taking that one near the end zone. And 2 KMC defenders meeting him at the 20.
Returned by Meyer.
And we'll see what this Heights offense can do if they're not backed up against the end zone.
For the Heights Falcons at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, you know, Heights came out, ran the ball 3 straight times. Kind of outside runs to a certain degree, but that didn't really have anything. But if you don't have blocking, there's nowhere to go on that stuff. They've got to find a way to get some bodies on some bodies to create some running lanes for these guys. Or else it's going to be kind of a long night.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Mr. Hebert. They have some big physical guys out there too. Josiah, number 77, he's a big, strong junior for Heights. As that one out to the flat gets 2 yards. Trey Hayes in on the reception.
It was tackled by Owen Young. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Basically, that's a run play. I mean, basically that's like a toss-out screen play where you just try and get a guy in space and have him make a defender miss. But like, I think it was Owen Young over on that side. He did a great job of breaking down and really making sure that guy didn't get past him.
And it's very hard to get things past Owen Young.
That guy laid some hits, man. He can hit hard for a small his size.
And a loss on the play, bringing up 3rd down for the Falcons. That one trying to go to Darius Rogers.
He was wrapped up right away.
Wrapped up very quickly. Cole Tarantino doing what he does best, getting tackles in the backfield.
I mean, if you saw Cole Tarantino walking through the hallways, would you expect him to be a defensive lineman?
Absolutely not. Don't judge a book by its cover.
But he does an incredible job. It's really but that is a tough kid right there. That is a hard-nosed, tough kid right there.
And he is the example of what the weight room can do for somebody.
Ooh, an interior screen pass. Capen sniffed that out pretty well, though.
Complete to Darius Rogers.
Rogers in on the reception.
By Austin Howard.
Howard in on the tackle.
It's 4th and 9.
And Heights, they can't get much going on offense. And we've seen those short passing attempts. Not much going. And we'll see what KMC can do getting this ball back.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see us try and return a punt. That's what I'd like to see. We haven't done it. I don't know if we've returned a punt all year.
We've returned a kick, but a punt would be excellent. And Shrek fielding that one around the 50. And Dylan Burr and his offense will march out onto the field the 2nd time tonight. And Ken Huff this time instead of Cal Purvis.
Well, you know,
and Burr trying to get a Heights Falcon offsides.
Looking for a play call change here. See what they do.
And Huff, his first carry of the night. As nothing up the middle. The Falcons able to sniff that one out quickly.
Handoff is to Ken Huff.
So it looks like Jackson. We replaced Jackson with another Jackson. So Jackson Gosh in for Jackson Daniel, the sophomore.
And Huff on the ground. This time, a different result, a gain of around 5. And that will bring up 3rd down. And like you were saying, Mr. Hebert, Jackson Gosh hasn't had a ton of playing time on the season. Big matchup here tonight as he gets the call.
Well, I think as a coaching staff, you're always trying to build not only for this year. You want to be as good as you can this year, but you're also trying to consider what's coming up next. You know, what's next year look like. We got to get these guys some reps. We got to get these guys some playing time so that they're ready to go when we start next year.
Jaden Smith. Gain is down to the 35-yard line. That's good enough for a Crusader first down. 1st and 10.
And a first down keeps the chains rolling. Handoff to Solinger, breaking one big. And nearly another first down.
On the carry.
That one
Gain of 11 on the
near
play. 1st and
the 25.
10. Crusaders from the 24.
And the clock ticking away. Just under 4 minutes left in this first quarter of play. And Burr with the read, and green grass ahead of him. Marches straight in the end zone. Touchdown, KMC. And Burrow, he got me on that play.
He got the entire Heights defense on that one too. But there wasn't many guys out there. There was no one left. Once they got a block on that edge guy, there was nothing there.
Yeah, no one on the left side to make a tackle on Burr.
Great decision there by Dylan to hold on to that one. He also had a pitch guy outside too, so.
Yeah, he had all those options available to him. And DuPont will get a second chance at the extra point. This time it's good. 13-0, 3:42 left in the first. KMC 2 early scores on the board.
Well, you can't ask for anything better if you're the Capen offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, really. I mean, everything's working out pretty good. Two drives, 2 possessions, 2 defensive drives, 2 stops. It's pretty good.
And last week when KMC was in this position, they scored early, going toe-to-toe with St. James. However, that second possession was a little rocky, only scoring 10 in the entire game.
Yeah. And you know, talking to the guys last week and a little bit this week about that game, you know, they knew that St. James was better than their record told them, that told everybody what they were. So I think they kind of expected a tough game. I don't know if they expected quite that tough, but I think it's not like we overlooked them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, KMC tries to limit overlooking teams. And not much of a return from Rogers.
Myers wrapped up by Noah Schreck. Dylan Huberson also in on the tackle. Heights takes over 1st and 10 from their 20.
And Heights will go out for their third possession from the 20.
All right, so 2 possessions where they ran the ball, they did a couple screen passes on that second possession. We'll see what kind of tricks they got up their sleeve, maybe try and do something a little different.
Matterson giving that one straight to his running back. That's Rogers on the quick carry.
Give us to Jonathan Wyatt. Dylan Burr and Austin Howard in on the stop.
And a change for KMC today. Dylan Burr coming out and playing some defense. He's going in at safety to fill Jackson Daniels' position. Burr, his first time entering in defense the entire season. And when I talked to his dad earlier in the year, he said this was an eventual move that they wanted to make for Burr. The quick pitch at the end, and Rogers showing off his speed. Getting down the sideline.
Ooh.
Mason Collins ending up getting the tackle, shoestring at the end near the 30.
I think that was Big Cal Purvis chasing him down. Holy cow.
Crusader territory.
That was a great play by a Heights offense. Get outside, really big gain for them.
From the Cape at 26 for Heights.
Yeah, and when a 215-pound junior can go toe-to-toe with you on the sideline, you know that guy is a menace and somebody that you do not want to mess with. And
Wyatt on the carry.
the give to Rogers again is not fruitful.
On the play.
Well, things opening up a little bit for Heights on this offensive possession
Second
here.
and 5.
Maybe they figured something out that can work against the Cape and defense, who's really been kind of dominant so far, except for that one big play now.
Second and 5 from KMC's 20. And not much on the play. Keeping it on the ground for the Falcons.
Hand off again to Wyatt. Gain of 1, 4th and 3rd and 4.
Heights, it looks like they're getting the signals from the sideline. Looks like they're ready to go here.
Darius Rogers in the backfield once again and keeping himself. That's Madison on the ground. Kyle Kea coming in quick, wrapping up a guy.
Masterson's pinch is
And that was intended for Lucas Meyer.
Loss of 8 on that.
Recovered
Brings them
by
4th and 12. They had a
Donovan
nice little
Wyatt.
drive going. They had 2nd and 5. And they had
back to
a
the 28. It's 4th
basically a
and
1
12.
yard gain, but that 3rd down, you gotta execute on 3rd down. If you can't execute on 3rd down, you're in trouble.
And if anything on that play, do not lose yardage.
Yep.
Now Heights putting themselves in a tricky situation, have to gain 10. Madison dropping back, immediately sacked.
Masterson
That was Austin Howard coming in and making the play.
Well, and sometimes high school teams are a little bit like in a tough spot in that area of the field. Not everybody has a field goal kicker who can really kick field goals.
First and 10.
We're lucky to have a few field goal kickers that can do that, but not every team has that. So if you've got like a roughly a 40-yard field goal, which what that would have been, not everybody has that. So you kind of got to go for it.
And we give that Solinger wide space ahead of him. Finally tackled near the 20. Solinger, he would have
Ryan Solinger.
scored if he could have beaten that guy on the ground. That tackle was made by Latrell Reed, coming in hot. He was the last line of defense for the Falcons.
25-yard line. First and 10 from the 24.
And KMC will likely be able to run one more play before the end of the first.
41-yard gain. It's nice to see. Oh, here's a direct snap to Purvis.
And small gain from Purvis. A bit of trickery
Cal Purvis.
from Coach Weston Schartz. And that will be the end of the first quarter. And as we have this stoppage in play, we'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, Ernet Arts and Bronze and Grasshopper Mowers. Thank you for sponsoring student journalism. And as these two teams talk things over, we a little recap on the game thus far. Both teams, some excellent runs. White Solinger breaking a big one just now. And before that, Darius Rogers setting the Falcons up with some excellent field position. However, they were not able to convert and get the score. But as we predicted, these two teams can handle things on the ground very well.
Well, you can't ask for a better start to the game for better first quarter for Capon. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for. You dominated the line of scrimmage to a certain degree. You scored on both your possessions. You're looking to score on your third possession. That's exactly what you want.
And following last week's performance, this one almost feels like a regrouping moment before the playoffs. They're able to resettle, fix those small changes, and get that headspace right before going into the 4A postseason.
You're absolutely right. This is a game to correct some errors, to tighten up some things, to really make sure that everybody's got a really good idea of what everybody's trying to do out there. And I think this is the game for that for Capon at least.
And the quick run, that one coming from the sophomore Ken Huff. And Noah Schreck checks in
First down, first and
for
10
Huff.
From the 11-yard line.
KMC on Heights 11. The quick handoff. That one going to Solinger. And it's been nice to have Wyatt back tonight. You almost forget once you lose a player for most of the season, you forget the benefits that they provide.
Well, what was he out? He's out like at least 3 games. He's out for the Carroll game. He's out for the St. James game. I think he got hurt in the game before that against Southeast.
Hurt in Southeast, yeah. And
Noah Schreck with the touchdown.
Touchdown, Crusaders. Noah Schreck.
Noah Schreck doing what he does best, finding the end zone. As that's a 3rd score for KMC. Schreck's likely his 5th touchdown on the season. He's been able to frequently find the end zone.
Yeah, another Capon kid along with Dylan Burr this game, and then also Kyle's playing a little bit both ways. Peyton Gosh plays a little bit both ways sometimes, but Noah is really, him and Jackson were the staples of that back end of that defense. Oh, what a pitch.
And the last moment, Burr got rid of that one, and Schreck getting both scores there. And coming away with the 2-point conversion, 21-0. KMC leads with 11:14 left. And the last moment, Berg.
Get to listen to a little bit of the KMC band here. A program that is like growing exponentially at Capon. Like last year we had like maybe 6 or 7 people in the band. This year we've got, looks like 13 or 14. Who knows what it's going to be next year? Sounded really good. Love hearing, I love hearing a drum line at a football game. That is football for me. So glad to have that here at Capon.
And something we are missing since COVID. The disease likely killed the program, and we are very blessed that that the band teacher is bringing it back and leading those guys. Mr. Lindenberg, sorry for my forgetfulness earlier.
Well, that guy's a busy guy, man. He doesn't just teach band here. I think he teaches it at some of the middle schools too.
Back deep is Lucas Meyer.
And Lacey in on the kickoff, a sky kick from him. That one fielded near the 25. And there's some room for the Falcons to work with. That was Darius Rogers in on the return.
Rogers on the return.
That was a nice return right there. Broke a couple tackles, spun around another couple.
Taking that one to the 45. Heights' best field position to start a drive of the night. Let's see if they can build off of what they had last possession.
At this point in the game, if you're Heights, you've got to see some success here. It doesn't necessarily mean a touchdown, I don't think, but you've got to see some. I mean, they had one big breakout run, but you got to see some consistent yardage gained, I think, to spur yourself or to make yourself feel better about the rest of the game.
And Jonathan Wyatt in on the short carry. Heights, they've been going back and forth to Wyatt, Meyer, and Rogers. All those guys very quick with the ball in their hands.
Correction, Will Stulzat's on the tackle that time. No gain. 2nd and 10.
Will Stulzat's another senior defensive lineman there. There's a quick pass out to the outside.
And Meyer making a man miss, finally tackled. And Owen Young, who else? Coming in, making the play. That brings up 3rd down.
8 of 7 on the play, makes it 3rd and 3.
Heights only needing a short gain, but they haven't been able to convert all night.
You got to find a way to win up front somehow. You got to find a way to get those 2 and 3 yard gains when you really got to have them.
And size definitely isn't the problem for them. It's just being able to counteract that KMC defense, that front group of guys.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that. That our defensive front is not the biggest front you've ever seen, but they're quick, and sometimes that causes some problems.
And the quick pass from Matterson is complete and will bring this offense inches away from converting.
Shy of a first down, 2 yards on the play. It's 4th and 1. Jude Porter on the defense that time.
This will be interesting to see what they do here.
4th and 1.
Were they try another like quick pass out to the outside, or are they trying to run up the middle? We'll see here.
Those quick strikes have been successful for them, getting that short yardage. But their run game has also been successful in getting some chunk yardage when needed.
Looks like they're going to talk it over a little bit here.
Wichita Heights. Here's their first of the half.
And likely a good decision from them, trying to do anything to keep this possession alive. That KMC defense is tough. And this entire season, we haven't seen anybody from KMC, like one sole defensive player, make all those plays. This team likes to spread the wealth almost on who can make a play tonight. We've seen Owen Young, Austin Howard, Kyle Kea, Cole Tarantino. All those guys are playmakers. All those guys rush the ball, and they know when to deliver the big hits. So that's a unique part about this defense. There's not one star guy out there leading the charge.
Absolutely.
And after the huddle, we'll see what this offense dials up. Matterson under center. The motion, handoff to Wyatt.
Ooh.
And
Ball
ball looks to be out. It seemed like Wyatt had gotten the first down, but fumbled it at the end. And shooting himself in the foot a bit with that play. Center, keeping the drive alive, and handoff to Wyatt away to turn it over. And ball
looked like he had broken
looks
that
to be
tackle.
out.
Looks like he was going to fall forward for that first down, but lost the ball, and Cape picks it up.
And KMC trying to recreate their success on the ground. The handoff to Ken Huff. Huff right up the middle, nothing.
Handoff to Ken Huff. He was tackled by Castaneda.
And 8:35 left on the clock.
Well, you like to see kind of the spreading of the wealth here. We've got Sullinger with 6 carries for 76 yards, Huff for 4 carries for 11 yards, Kyle Purvis for 5 for 25 yards, and then Noah Streck's got a couple carries for a touchdown. I mean, there's really spreading the ball around. Here's a pass.
And a big pass delivered by Burr. That one complete to Jackson Gosh, the sophomore. Burr doing what he does best with the bootleg. He seems to convert the majority of his passes through that mode.
Here's a pass.
And a big pass delivered by Burr. That one
couple. It's 3rd and 1.
Nice little out route there by Jackson to get open. Did a good job.
And Pete Keller, the sophomore, breaking a couple tackles, moving that one near the 35.
Pete Keller is the ball carrier.
First down for KMC.
I mean,
He was tackled by
you would talk about tough kids.
Castaneda.
Pete Keller's a tough kid.
Gain is good enough for a first down. 1st and 10, KMC.
He is not the biggest guy out there by any means, but he is tough as nails.
Give us to Keller. Gain of 4 on the
Yeah,
play.
Keller, 5'8", 155 pounds as a sophomore. Like you said, Mr. Eber, not the biggest guy, but he knows how to use the weight that he does have and make some big hits.
I'll tell you, Pete Keller played basketball for me as a freshman last year, and a lot of times he would play a post for me. He's 5'8", but he was just so tough, like defensively and rebounding, that he would take care of business every single time down there. Testament to the mental mindset of that kid.
And that's not really something you can teach either. You kind of just got to have that.
You are absolutely right.
Alvarez. Gain is good for a first down.
And Burr goes onto the sideline.
The 26.
Cal Purvis lining up in the Wildcat position, taking it himself Purvis, big gain. He cannot be stopped. First down for KMC.
Cal Purvis.
As he takes that one to the Heights 15. And Burr staying out on the sideline. Purvis still in, and a plethora of flags are thrown.
On the play.
False start. Offense. Everyone but the center. Be a 5-yard penalty.
False start, everyone but the center. Nice job. Nice job, Ben Ryan.
always something to laugh at whenever you hear that play.
15 from the 19.
And yeah, KMC sending that one. They're getting sent back. Burr coming back out onto the field. Quick handoff to Solinger. And Solinger quick with it. Getting himself into the end zone. Touchdown, KMC. And Solinger gets his second on the night.
Great to see him having a good game coming back off that
Burr coming back
concussion
out
injury.
onto the field.
Great to see him have some success out
Quick
here today.
handoff to Solinger. And Solinger quick with Solinger, 265 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. Obviously being injured, like you said. Not bad for him on the games that he has played.
Heck yeah.
Ethan DuPont on to kick. And the sophomore is good.
6:30 to go before half.
28-0 as KMC in the driver's seat on the night. And with just 6:30 left in the half, if Heights wants to put some points on the board and pressure KMC, it's going to take a bit of scoring from them, down by a lot. They're going to need to get a score on this possession.
Lucas Meyer.
DuPont on to kick for KMC. Lucas Meyer to return for the Falcons. And DuPont getting that one to the 10. Meyer quickly taking it. And he's eventually taken down at the 40, showing his speed on that return.
Down by Jude Porter. Mason Collins also in on the tackle.
Jude Porter and Mason Collins in on the tackle there. And Mr. Hebert, you mentioned you coach basketball. That season coming up very soon. What do you think? How do you think KMC is going to look?
Oh, you know, we're coming off a state championship. Great year last year. It's one of those things, but we lost a lot. We lost an awful lot last year. Brooks Prowers graduated. He was our point guard last year. Tegan Charles, kind of a defensive specialist, really, and one of our only post players. I think you got 5A state player of the year. Will Thingballer is at KU right now. Be very different. Be very different. But, you know, we got some good returners. We got Corbin Johnson who's coming back. Jude Porter is going to play a bigger role. Corey Daniels started at the end of last year. Blaze played big minutes. Blaze Dalian played big minutes last year. Owen Herlocker is going to be a bigger role this year. You know, it's sky's the limit for these guys. It's going to be very interesting playing with the shot clock during City League, though. That will be very interesting. But it should be a fun year. We're going to get started the week before Thanksgiving, so it's right around the corner.
And the basketball team, ball is out. Mason Collins recovering that one.
Masterson's pass is complete.
However, that one
ball came out, but
doesn't look like that one
right around the corner
meant anything. And the basketball down before the ball came out. As we were saying, though, Mr. Hebert, that the basketball team in their situation seems a lot like this football team losing Amari Elias last season. It's like what does KMC do next? Both these teams losing key players.
Absolutely. I mean, that's every year you run into that. Every year you run into guys who graduate, and then you've got to try and figure out who's the new guys to step up. And I imagine Coach X is going to start challenging some of those guys, or probably already did during the summer, about who's the next dudes. So, Corbin was either second or first team All-State last year, so he's gonna do some damage this year. We'll see who else follows with him.
And the quick handoff as he cannot be taken down. Ball finally pops out. C.J. Walker on that carry. Noah Schreck coming away with the ball.
Recovered by Noah Schreck.
And as the Falcons finally break a big run, pops out. C.J. Walker, the unfortunate on that handoff.
Well, that's like they put the ball on the ground like 3 or 4 times today already, so they've really got to. I mean, you got to value that ball. You got to value that ball. You made a great play. You got to finish it off.
And that's one of the first things that they teach you coming into football or in the summer. Hold on to that ball security.
Oh, yeah.
That can make or break games. It can turn the tides. Rain Ilian at quarterback with the handoff.
Rain Ilian is the quarterback.
And that was Ken Huff on the carry and the truck. There's a player on the field. It's Dom Wells, the linebacker for the Falcons. This KMC student section being respectful, taking a seat.
Yeah, well, didn't really see what happened. It was nice. It was a good collision at the end. I mean, there was a hit made. You hope the kid's okay.
And tonight, the student section wearing their Halloween costumes as the holiday approaches in just 6 days. A lot of onesies out there tonight. Seems to be the easiest costume.
Oh, yeah, I mean, probably most comfortable, too. I wouldn't say it's cold out right now, but I wouldn't say it's warm out either. So it's kind of, my hands are a little cold, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it just dropped to 60 degrees. And in Kansas, obviously, a bit of that humidity plays a role in how it feels.
We can't complain at all. We've had summer for like 7 months or something like that now, so don't know if we've really had real football weather yet. So, but that's okay. That's good. I'll take that.
Yeah, and going into the playoffs, if it feels like this is pure football weather. This
would be perfect.
This brings those goosebumps out and makes you excited to watch some ball.
Yep. Looking to the future, next week we'll probably, more than likely, Cape will have a home game.
Yeah, KMC near the top of the 4A bracket. Home game is in their future, like you said. We don't know exactly who they will be playing, but we will get that information soon.
As I'm looking at the, I've got the internet here, so I'm looking through the West bracket, the Class 5A. Or no, actually, I guess I wouldn't be looking through the Class 5A bracket, would I? I would be looking through the 4A bracket. The first year in a long time, the Captains dropped down to 4A. Looks like on the west side, it looks like Waumego's 6-1, with Mulvane and Andover Central both 6-1 as well. Wellington and Buhler and Cape and Mount Carmel are 5-2. But as I mentioned previously, it will be very difficult for us to jump up to that 4th spot just based on point differential. So if the season ended right now, we would play the 11 seed, which would be Rose Hill. So we'd play Rose Hill, and then we would go into Andover Central, who has been pretty good the last 3 or 4 years. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Obviously, anything could happen.
Yeah, in that week 2 matchup, Andover Central 6-1 on the season. A very strong team. Their only loss coming to Goddard Eisenhower, another strong team in Wichita. And something can be said for KMC and Andover Central's difficulty of schedule. That's something that a lot of the other 4A teams don't have. One instance is Lewisburg. Some have said they have a pretty easy schedule, and they're leading 4A right now. So that'll just be
over on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, 7-0. So that'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out and who will emerge as the true number 1 team.
Yeah. I mean, the great thing about the postseason is once you get to the postseason, I mean, every coach wants a good position to be in. You want the easiest road as you can get. But it's one of those things where once the season's over and you start playoffs, everybody's 0-0. So you just gotta beat who's in front of you at that point. So it'll be interesting to see.
And as we look back at like last year, KMC coming into the playoffs with a great record, they had to play some tough teams. May South, one of those. Great Bend, undefeated this year. They had an excellent passing attack last year, and then another one, Goddard, Eisenhower. All those teams were very good. And so, like you said, when you get into the playoffs, it really doesn't matter. That all goes out the window, your regular season. And it's just win now. Win now, and you move on. And you forget about everything else.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we hope this Heights player is going to be okay. They've been down there for a little while. We're going to hope he's going to be okay.
And it's never great when those minutes start to add up for the break, because that means it's not an easy thing.
Right.
We pray that everything is all right, but for the time, it's really tough to see him stay down for this long.
Right. And, I mean, sometimes we forget as we watch. I mean, this is a violent sport. This is a physical, violent, aggressive sport. These things happen, but we sometimes forget about that. These are 200-pound bodies throwing into each other. Things can happen, unfortunately. We're going to hope the kid's all right.
And we do see some movement down there on the field.
I think we'll take a break while we're waiting for the sports trainers to take care of this. We'll come back to you when we're ready to go.
Here rides a fearless band of Mo Day warriors, bound by the common goal of cut and conquer. These pros work as one. From tree line to tight turns, each knows their role. And with forged steel and unbeatable stripes, each cements their Mo Day legend.
And as both teams enter the field following the injury break, we just want to pray for Dom Wells. Make sure you keep him in your prayers. Ambulance and the fire truck were out here carting him off the field. So we just hope that he is all right. And coming out of the gate, Ken Huff, a big run, taking advantage of the Heights Falcons being a little cold coming out of the break.
Got a flag on the play.
Tackled by A.J. Banks, flag on the play.
Flag around the 50.
Gain inside the 40.
And we'll see what the call is.
After the play, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 10 for the defense. 15-yard penalty.
And unnecessary roughness coming from Maurice Mansa, costing the Falcons some yards,
Penalty march.
setting up excellent
Penalty
field
yard
position
march off
on
will
top
make
of
it
that
1st and 10
Ken
from
Huff
the
run.
24.
KMC on the Heights 24. And Rain Ilian under center, the quick handoff. And
Give us to Pete Keller.
Pete Keller, a gain around 3 on the play. And up here in the press box where we're bundled up, it's getting cold out here. We're feeling that October weather. It's starting to hit. And a big gain, breaking a couple tackles. That looks to be Noah Schreck in on the run, and the senior taking some guys with him
Tackled by Ethan Small.
as we
1st and goal from the 10.
approach 3:30 left in the half. Ilian, 2 running backs on to his right and left. Handoff to Schreck. Schreck on the outside, bouncing, and he is just shy of the end zone.
Is to Noah Schreck.
Schreck trying to make a man
He was
miss,
brought down
but
by A.J. Banks.
brought down by A.J.
Second and goal
Banks.
From the 2, gain of 8.
And 2nd and goal for KMC. The quick handoff,
Is that Keller?
and
Give us to Pete Keller.
just shy. Pete Keller would have had
He's shy of the goal line.
a touchdown.
3rd and goal from the 1.
Keller, the potential for his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the handoff to Schreck, giving it back to him, and he is into the end zone, his 2nd on the night.
From 1 yard out.
And KMC will add 6 to their lead. And coming out firing right after that injury break.
This power offense right there, I mean, that's just I formation, running up the gut.
Punt on for
Make
the
'em stop
extra
you, you
point
know.
attempt.
And KMC kept alternating between Schreck and Keller. Both those guys excellent on the ground. To punt on for the extra point, as he is good. 35-0.
He's good.
I'm be real honest with you. I have no idea when they kick a field goal whether it went in or not until I look at the refs. Like, I have no clue. I see where the ball's going. I see the goalpost. I just have no idea where the ball is in relation to the goalpost.
Big gain, breaking a couple tackles. Same way. I always got to check with the refs, make sure before I make the call.
Yep.
And 2:24 left in the half, as Trey Lacey will boot this one away to the Falcons. Lacey and the KMC soccer team are entering the playoffs. That coming very soon for them.
Lacey is on to kick off for the
Anthony,
Crusaders. Back deep
sorry, not
is Lucas
Anthony.
Meyer.
Coach Cantelli just told me before the game started that they will play at Newton, their first game of regionals. So there's a couple games that got postponed last night, so they didn't know quite where they would be until they played the games today. So they're going to be playing Newton first round of regionals.
And Newton, a formidable team in soccer. And
It's like another fumble.
Jameer Armstrong fumbles.
KMC coming away with the ball.
First and 10.
Once again, a bit surprising as we were talking about soccer there. And another opportunity to score for KMC before the end of the half. And Alien on the bootleg, his first throw of the night, delivering it to Gosh. Completion near the sideline. And Mr. Hebert, I was wondering when Alien would drop back and try to sling it. He definitely has an arm.
I mean, is that his first passing attempt of the season? That might be his first pass attempt of the season.
I think you're right. He was injured for a short period of time. It was a lower ankle injury. So Cole Rapp, another sophomore, came in for Alien at the backup. Alien delivered a big strike. Jackson Gosh. So first it goes Peyton Gosh, then Jackson Gosh for the touchdown on the slant. Alien delivered a big strike. Jackson Gosh.
To get that
So
one into
first
the
it goes Peyton Gosh, then excellent play call from Coach Weston Schartz.
Connection between Ilian and Gosh.
So right away, Capon really makes use of that fumble recovery off the kickoff and just 2 quick passes and boom, boom, another 6 points.
And that could signify the potential future of this offense. Ilian definitely has a good arm on him. And DuPont's kick is good. But as I was saying, Ilian, with a receiver like Jackson Gosh, and he can just sling it over the middle to him, this future could be a passing one for KMC.
Yeah, real quick, back to soccer. We were talking about that. I want to give you some more information on that real quick.
Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 64, the kicking team. This is number 64's first unsportsmanlike towards this qualification. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
And Nick Ancio with the unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, and those are some things you want to fix before going into the playoffs. You can't have penalties like that.
And Ancio getting chewed out on the sideline.
Yeah. Soccer, first round for the boys soccer team. They're 8-6-2. They're going to be playing 10-5-1 Newton. That's on Monday. That's at 6 o'clock. That's going to be at Newton. So if you can get a chance to head out and watch the boys play, if we are able to, we will try and broadcast that. If we are able to, we're not sure about that yet.
Right down the road from me.
There you go. All right, easy trip for Andrew there.
Very easy trip for me. Lacey, the sky kick. That one bouncing near the 30. Picked up by Meyer, trying to make a move, but quickly tackled. He does not fumble on the play, though.
I imagine that will be a
Myers on the return.
major talking point for the coaches at halftime for Heights.
Ball security, ball security, ball security for them. Yeah, that not to say that they were completely in this game, but their lack of ball security definitely brought them out of it very quickly.
Right. I mean, if you turn the ball over, turnovers in any sport are just catastrophic, especially in football.
And dropping back, nothing from Matterson's pass.
Masterson's pass is incomplete. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for the Falcons. And we saw a small glimpse of the offense that they have the potential of running earlier in the first quarter of play. Not much since then, but it is definitely within this team.
Minute 38 left in the first half. We'll see if Heights is looking to just they're spread out right now, so it looks like they might be trying to attack a little bit as opposed to just kind of trying to get into halftime and kind of regroup and figure some stuff out.
And Masterson picking that ball up off the turf. Obviously, the play call was to go deep. That one was foiled very quickly.
Bad snap kind of started that off on a bad trajectory to get the play going. We'll see what they got on 3rd and 10. I mean, if you're Heights, you really don't want to give the ball back to Capon. As easily if they move the ball, you don't want to give up another touchdown right before the half. I mean, we'll see if they run it here.
Masterson in shotgun, dropping back, pressure coming early, and
Peyton Gosh with the sack right there.
Peyton Gosh,
not something you expected to see from dropping back. Pressure coming early.
Tight end.
And
you see him sub in every once in a while as an interior defensive lineman. I mean, he's a big body out there. Cause some problems. Looks like Heights is going to punt the ball back to Capon here.
And Mr. Hebert, it is something to mention. Zane Masterson, the Heights quarterback, a junior that's 5'7", 135.
Yeah, it's a smaller guy out there. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. You can see by that when he runs the read option, he's got a good awareness of what's going on. But if you've got a bad snap to start, that throws everything off.
And it's very hard to scramble out of the way from a guy like Gosh.
Well, and a lot of times like that, like you've got your receivers are not aware. Your receivers are not aware that that the snap was fumbled. Like they have no idea, so they're running their routes as normal, and that looked like a deep ball play. So they had no idea that ball had been dropped on the ground, and so they really need to work their way back. But if you don't know that it happened, you have no idea that you should be working your way back.
Yeah, and not a whole lot the receivers can do.
No,
when that happens.
Looks like Noah Schreck's back to receive this punt.
Zane Masterson to punt for the Falcons. And
fair catch. About the 42.
Fair catch by Schreck.
And KMC will get another opportunity. Just under 40 seconds left in the half.
Looks like Heights took about a minute off the clock there. Left Capon with 38 seconds. What are you doing here if your coach starts?
I think
try not shots.
I don't think they should do anything flashy. Keep it on the ground.
If you break one, you break one.
Yeah, if you break one, you break one. Exactly. Don't try to force anything.
I think that's Spencer Sloan in there.
The give is to Spencer Sloan.
Sloan, another sophomore on this team. So for the future, a majority of that future offense could be sophomores going into juniors next year. You got Spencer Sloan, Pete Keller, Rain Ilian, Jackson Gosh, and Ken Huff.
Yeah, you look at that offensive unit out there. You got a lot of returners coming back. I mean, you're going to lose Amphon, who's a tough presence on the line. You're going to use Ben Ryan, who's the center, kind of holding that in there. But the rest of your line's coming back. You lose Burr at quarterback, but looks like we're getting some reps in for Ilian here to see what he can do. But the rest of them use Jackson Daniel as well. But like the rest of that's coming back next year, so.
And as the clock strikes 0, 42-0, KMC well in the driver's seat. No sign of taking the foot off the gas. And we will see you after the break. I'm Andrew Guyer.
I'm Will Hebert. We'll see you after the break.
Hello, we welcome you back from our halftime break.
Crusaders back deep.
Coming in to the third quarter of play, KMC up 42-0 over the Heights Falcons. KMC has been able to keep it on the ground tonight. A strong rushing game from a plethora of running backs. We've seen Pete Keller, Noah Schreck, Ken Huff, and Cal Purvis all scored tonight.
The adjustments have been made at halftime. The teams have regrouped. We'll see what changes are made. We'll see what adjustments have been made.
We'll see how well these two teams chewed on some of the things from the first half.
Oh, and the fumble bug strikes Capon right off the bat.
Noah Schreck on the return.
Looks like they're going to calm down.
No fumble on the play.
Ground caused it.
Crusaders take over 1st and 10.
And even if KMC had not gotten this ball back, elite teams going into the playoffs, they don't do that. They don't make those mistakes.
Nope.
If KMC is going to want to return to that state championship game, they're going to need to clean those things up.
Absolutely.
Bird dropping back to pass. That one nearly caught by the junior Rocco Keller off his fingertips.
Rocco Keller incomplete. 2nd and 10.
And in the most polite way to say it, Keller should have had that one.
It was a little high. I'll give him that. It was a little high. But there was nobody around him. I mean, there was nobody around him. I don't know. That could be a connection between a quarterback and a receiver there, just not on quite the same page for that play. Hopefully they get on the same page and figure some stuff out. We got an option to the right here. Burr's going to keep it. He's probably going to get a first down out of that.
Burr using a 180-pound frame to knock over a Heights player.
And Jameer Armstrong.
And he gets that KMC first down.
From the 43.
And Ken Huff, you can tell he's eating his broccoli as he uses his strength to get that first down.
1st and 10 Crusaders in Heights territory.
And the give to White Solinger. That one just shy of another first down. 3 back-to-back runs for the Crusaders. Big gains.
2nd and 2.
All around 8 yards.
Castaneda on the tackle that time for Heights.
And Burr dropping back, delivering the quick pass. That one looks to be a first down.
First pass complete to Rocco Keller.
This one complete. This time it's complete to Keller.
1st and 10.
Looks like those two fix things and they're on the same page. And Burr dropping back once again, his third of the drive. The deep pass to Gosh, wide open inside the 10 to score.
You got a flag down.
Flag on the play.
I got holding number 60.
And that one brought back
Number 60.
an unfortunate
First down.
event right there. Micah Amfong on the holding. Burr dropping
Not
back
something
once
he
again,
does very
his
often.
third of the
I'm sure
drive.
he-
The deep pass to Gosh. What wishes he could have that one back.
He also nullifies the touchdown.
Although that completion to Gosh did not count, it really shows Burr's arm strength.
Absolutely.
He had that surgery earlier in the summer,
Takes the
or earlier in the year, and it has recovered
For a
well.
5-yard gain. It's 2nd and 15. Johnson on the tackle.
And 2nd and long for this offense. Burr on the option, taking it himself, moving around the defense, turning a corner, and a large gain. Looks to be around 23.
He was brought down by Latrell
Getting a
Reed.
first down for his team. On the option, taking it himself, moving around the defense, see Burr turning a corner, shedding those and defense players. Anyone in his path, he leaves in his wake. Burr on the bootleg, going out to his right, flicking that one out to the flat at the last moment, trying to avoid the sack. However, that is going to be an intentional grounding.
Intended for Peyton Gosh.
I think they said that Gosh was in the area, so it was close enough that the pass ended up close enough to him that they didn't throw it. I think they were just kind of specifying to everybody why they didn't throw it.
So unintentional grounding. I must have
I
misheard that.
That was unintentional, yeah.
Because I didn't see a flag, so there's a bit of confusion. Ken Huff, wide open gap, takes that one like it's nothing. And Huff adds 6 to the score. There's a bit of confusion. Ken Huff, very easy. Wide open gap, similar to his performance in the Bishop Carroll game. 180 or 150 on the ground in that one. He has around 60 tonight.
You know, this rushing attack for Capon is very dynamic. I mean, we've had games where Purvis was the big guy. And then we've had games where Ken Huff had the big games. We had games where Wyatt Soldier played really well and had racked up a bunch of yards. So they've got a bunch of guys they can hand it to back there.
And Mr. Eber, I think that game where Wyatt Sollinger's playing well is tonight. 112 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Sollinger, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And it's very nice to have him back and fitting him into this lineup. And KMC leading 49-0. 9:30 left in the third quarter. And that possession definitely showed the type of offensive mastermind Coach Weston Schartz is. He's able to dial up some passes and trick that defense. They don't know what's coming next. Burr can take it on the ground and dial it up through the air. Very dynamic.
Absolutely. And it's nice to see, you know, even when Capon stumbled a little bit there and had a penalty that put them at 1st and 20, they found a way to get back into it and move the chains yet again after that. So it was great to see them fight through that a little bit.
And Meyer taking that kick return up to the 40. Excellent return from him. This has been one of the bright spots for this Heights team. Lucas Meyer, a very speedy returner. He's been able to get some good returns for this team.
You know, Heights has had a few kickoff returns where
Kansas State High Activities Association, the clock will run for the remainder of the game.
And it was just announced we will have a running clock for the rest of the game. That is nice to hear for the players on the sidelines, the fans. This one will be wrapped up soon.
Yeah. Another ball on the ground. It's like, I don't know who picked that up.
Give to Jonathan Wyatt. Fumble on the play.
For the players on the sidelines,
but
the
yeah,
fans.
You know, Heights has had some good kickoff
this one
returns
will be wrapped up soon.
They were another ball was away, a couple guys away from breaking it, and they just couldn't find a way to get all the way through.
And this KMC offense, some new faces out there. Rain Alien coming in. Spencer Sloan as well. And then
you got Axel Ponde out on the edge here, and Preston Hamilton, who that pass was just intended for, trying to dive, make that catch.
That one could have been deadly right there. Hamilton laying out with a defender right there. We're glad no collision happened.
Looked like it was supposed to be a wide receiver screen, but Heights was not fooled on that play.
Alien under center. Quick handoff to Pete Keller. And Keller taking a man with him. First down and more.
That's Pete Keller on the carry. He was brought down by A.J. Banks. Gain to the 24 is 1st and 10 Crusaders.
And KMC marching into Heights territory. Ilian on the bootleg, off to his right, taking it on the ground himself, and tried to truck a man as he eventually is taken down. You saw Ilian drop his shoulder. Ilian on the bootleg off to his right, taking it on the ground himself on the replay, and kind of wedging himself. Tried to truck a man. Ilian, not the biggest guy out in the field, but I'm sure he can deliver a hit when he needs to. And the handoff to Spencer Sloan, bouncing to the outside. And
Spencer Sloan. He spins inside.
Solid gain
The 10-yard line.
for the sophomore. First and goal for KMC.
First and goal at the 10.
Under 6:40 left. Handoff to Keller. And he looks to be just shy.
Keller, the ball carrier.
Let's hope they can give it to him once again so he can be credited with that touchdown.
Second and goal from the 4.
And ruling on the field.
Pete Keller is the ball carrier again.
Let's check.
He was stopped shy of
Just shy. Pete Keller.
Corian
That one will bring up
Buckles.
3rd and inches.
Third and goal from the 1.
Could be a QB sneak. And Ilian taking himself. Good. Touchdown, KMC.
Rain Ilian on the quarterback stage.
Rain Ilian,
Touchdown,
his
Crusaders.
first touchdown of the year. And a great way to do it, taking it himself. Adds 6 to KMC's lead.
On for the extra point attempt is Ethan DuPont. Hold by Ethan Burr.
Ethan DuPont on for the extra point. And DuPont's kick is good.
And the kick is good.
56-0. KMC not taking that foot off the gas.
Five minutes to go in the third. It's now 56.
Well, you know what? Is
KMC.
I don't know if we have to turn off the music during halftime because YouTube will take us down. So sometimes some of the announcements during halftime get missed. One of the big announcements this week was our girls golf team winning their fifth straight 5A state championship. It's also Jimena Saranana, her second straight individual state championship. Congratulations to Coach Thomas and all those girls who put in so much work, and then they're so good, man. They're just
Trey
so
Lacey,
good.
The kick for KMC.
I mean, talk about dominance. 5 years in a row.
Oh yeah.
That's seen classes leave and that streak continuing.
Absolutely. You have kids who run through their whole high school career and win a state championship every year. So credit to the work that Coach Novascone and Coach Johnson do, along with Coach Thomas, getting those girls ready to play. Congratulations to those girls. Well deserved, well earned.
CJ Walker.
And this Heights return will end around the 40.
Tackled by Benjamin.
That was Watkins on the return.
Looks like Capen decided to stop kicking to him back there.
Yeah, they don't want to give that one to Meyer after a couple of his excellent returns.
So now we got some new faces on the defensive end for sure. I'm seeing all new numbers that I haven't seen yet tonight. So,
yeah, there are quite a few. One of them, Melvin Pogue, out there. Chris Padilla, some of his first varsity action. He is regarded as having some of the best drip on the team.
now for us older viewers, can you please explain what drip is?
Yeah, so drip.
Oh, wow. What a run by...
Wow, Lucas Meyer showing off his speed.
That was awesome.
Wow, crossing the field
Lucas Meyer takes the pitch
crisscrossing,
and
making guys miss. First down for him. I'm surprised they haven't given it to him more.
The play is a first down in
However,
Capen territory.
anyway, when we were talking about drip, just the accessories, that you add to your uniform.
Okay.
The arm sleeves, the I've seen guys wear turtlenecks, just anything that they can add. Dropping back is Masterson.
Oh, going deep.
Big ball, no good.
Well defended back there by, is 88, is that Padilla?
Chris Padilla, yes.
All right, great job by him on that play to knock that ball away.
And Padilla coming in at 5'8", 145. He's using every ounce of that build to deflect that one. That deep ball intended for Trey Hayes, senior. And Masterson under center. The end around to Myers. Myers still going on his feet, made Pogue miss as he's eventually shoved out of bounds. End around to Myers. Myers still going on his feet, made Pogue miss.
Gain of 6, 3rd and 4.
You know, that's a nice little running back they got back there. But I don't know, is he a receiver or is he a running back?
Yeah, he's listed as a running back on their depth chart.
Okay.
Majority of the game they've been going to Wyatt, Jonathan Wyatt.
Okay.
So I'm surprised they haven't gone to Meyer more.
Well, he seems like a bit of a playmaker. He's shifty and he's pretty darn fast. I would be hesitant that they wouldn't keep using him.
Pitch goes to Darius
Yeah,
Rogers.
earlier in the season against North,
Brought down by
he had
Preston
quite a
Hamilton.
game, broke some big 50-yard runs against
No
them.
gain.
I think
4th and 4.
KMC might have just foiled those runs early.
Yeah.
And Heights trying to change it up and nothing really working. Trying to catch some KMC defenders off guard with the motion.
Pretty disciplined on the defensive end there. They did a good job not biting on that.
And our third quarter of play will come to an end. 56-0 KMC with the lead. And as we have this stoppage in play, we'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight, Ernat Arts and Bronze and Grasshopper Mowers. Thank you for supporting student journalism. Without you guys, we may not be able to provide this broadcast to you guys, the fans at home. So thank you to them.
We'd also definitely like to, I personally would like to thank the kids that helped me out with this broadcast. I can't do it myself, and I get so much help from all the kids who help out. Andrew, obviously, with the commentating. Robbie's not here tonight, but he does a great job as well. We have Stephanie Alvarado on the camera today. She's doing a great job. She's done it before, but she's knocking it out of the park. We have Ava Christner down the field can. She's doing a great job giving you the shot you got now of our student section doing the cheer that I don't know what the name is. But and then we got Jack Pear up top, who's doing a fantastic job with the overshots. And then I'd like to, Millie Stewart really runs this thing. I'm not going to lie to you. She really just runs this thing. I probably just stay home, and she could take care of it. But want to thank her and everybody else who helps out with this. It's not a one-person job, and I really appreciate all the help I get.
Meyer on the carry.
You're exactly right, Mr. Hebert. And one thing I'm thinking of right now with that cold weather is our camera crew, they have the steadiest hands I've ever seen. I would be shaking down there, shivering.
I have gloves on. I have a coat on. I have multiple pairs of socks on, and I'm shaking. But
check that at the 36-yard.
Stephanie over here is wearing shorts. It is not even cold, I don't think.
That's the true Midwest attitude right there.
Just a different level of toughness that I don't have.
And not much on
to Spencer Sloan.
the rushing attempt to Sloan.
He was stopped right away by Tyson
Well,
Phillips.
and you know, we talked.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11.
We talked a little bit about like Capon using some guys they don't normally use and trying to get some experience for some players going into next season to a certain degree. You always got to keep thinking about it. Looks like Heights, that was a nice stand right there. Something to build around. You want to see some positive plays out there.
To Spencer Sloan.
And
Tackled by
Sloan,
Nassau.
once again, nothing on
No gain on the play. It's
on
3rd
the
and 11.
on the play. And there's something to be said about inexperienced linemen not able to set up the openings for Sloan, but this Heights defense playing very well. Pete Keller, big gain.
Davis
That
to
looks to be
Pete
enough
Keller.
for a first down for KMC.
He gains enough for a KMC first down. Tackled by Armstrong and Reed. Gain of 13 on the play. 1st and 10 from the 48.
And like we said, KMC has their backups in. And it looks like Heights continuing to play their starters, get them as many reps as possible before the playoffs, as Sloan is shoved out of bounds. Solid gain for him. It looks to be around 8 yards.
Reed.
As Latrell Reed in
And a
on
play of
the
7.
tackle.
It's 2nd and 3.
Really nice run right there. Kind of lowered the boom at the end. They kind of gave a hit instead of taking a hit there. That was nice.
And 2nd and 3 for the Crusaders. Ilian, the quick handoff.
Looks like a fumble.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by Heights.
And wow. 2nd and 3. 2 fumbles
Crusaders.
in this
Fumble
half for
recovery.
KMC.
Ilian,
The quick
Nothing to
handoff.
take over first
First
and
it
10.
was
Fumble.
Heights
7-yard
with
line.
all those turnovers, and now KMC is happening to them. And like we said earlier, the clock continuing to run, a nice adjustment that was made, speeding up this game.
And usually it's just the fourth quarter, so I'm curious about, I don't know if that's a team decision for the Heights side or not. I don't know how that works necessarily.
Well, earlier in the season against Southeast, that change was never made. So that one, that was a blowout. It was 62-0, and that clock never ran. So a larger margin.
Masterson's pass complete to Lucas
And
Meyer.
yeah, so you never know. It might just be preference.
Right.
Adrian Monaco on the tackle that time for Capon. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
You got to remind me what's number 8's what's his name?
That's Lucas Meyer.
That's another
there.
great play by him. They ran like a middle screen, and he caught the ball like 2 yards in the backfield and made a guy miss and somehow got four additional yards out of it. Well done by him. He's fun to watch.
Dropping back is Masterson. Plenty of time all day. And intercepted. Preston Hamilton diving.
Zane Masterson's pass.
That pass
Intercepted.
intended. Dropping back is Masterson.
For
Plenty of time.
receiver
all day.
Chrissy.
Bodney. And intercepted. Preston frustrated after the interception. Preston Hamilton, he's had multiple on the year
Crusaders
in these
first
type
and 10
of
at their
garbage
31.
time.
Well done by him playing that safety position, just keeping an eye on the quarterback, watching where the quarterback's eyes are going. He anticipated that, and he knew it was coming right to him. A little
Yeah.
bit underthrown.
Watching those eyes is always key as a defensive back.
Timeout. Capon Mount Carmel.
Looks like Capon didn't have enough guys in the field as we see a player running in late, so they call a timeout, which will stop the clock, actually. So they'll still stop the clock for timeouts. We got 6:43 left to go.
And Mr. Hebert, speaking about players on the field, did you happen to catch that Ohio State-Oregon game a couple weeks ago?
That night, that Saturday, there were a bunch of good games. So that was Ohio State, Oregon. That was a crazy game. Was that Texas OU? Or was that Texas Georgia?
That might have been the same weekend. I don't know. But in that game, Oregon put 12 men on the field to sacrifice the yardage that Ohio State would have gained. So
Really?
I don't know how that would apply to high school football, but just kind of an interesting thought.
Yeah.
And Mason Collins coming in at receiver with the reception. And that looks to be just shy of the first down.
You know, we see Mason
Johnson and Reed on the tackle.
a starter on the
play.
on the defensive end. It's nice to see him play a little offense. That might be his first catch of the year right there.
And second and short for KMC. Handoff to Sloan, and losing yardage on the play, around 3 lost. And second and short for KMC.
Sloan
Handoff to
immediately hit. That was
Sloan,
91.
and Maverick Stemmen in on the tackle for loss.
Good chase down by the Heights defender. Spencer Sloan is not a slow guy. Nice acceleration there to catch up to him.
Yeah, and that's a defensive lineman too, making that acceleration.
Yeah.
So we give him props for that. And a swarm of players. Keller near a first down, edging close to it.
And the gain is 4.
And that is enough for a first down. Keeping the chains going.
I would imagine it's Coach Sharks' goal for this to be the last possession. That's my thought.
Yeah, that would be, for the sake of us up here in the cold weather, I think that would be best. Trying to end this game as soon as possible.
Tyson Phillips on the tackle. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
384 yards on the night for Capon rushing. Holy moly. That's a big number, and 7 touchdowns.
And, I mean, coming in this year, there's a question about who would fill that running back position for KMC. And I think we kind of answered that question. All of these guys are filling that.
It's running back by committee right now, and that's a fun way to do it. If you've got multiple guys, you sub in fresh legs every time you need to. That's tough to defend.
Yeah, and you really never know what KMC could run with all those different guys, and they have the ability to run that option later in the playoffs with Dylan Burr. All those guys, all of them are quick.
Spencer Sloan
it's a real threat for them.
Near a first down. It's going to be 4th and short.
And you know they execute so well. I mean, they know where they're supposed to be. They don't run a. I wouldn't say the playbook is huge. I would say the playbook is pretty limited. Maybe not limited, but like it's pretty tight playbook where there's not a lot of options, so that I mean they can work on those things over and over and over again and get really good at the things that they do. You know what I mean?
You're exactly right. That repetition is key.
Ilian on the quarterback keeper.
Ilian, is that enough? It is KMC first down. Keeping the chains going. 3:11 left in the game. Clock continuing to run. Ilian the pitch. Sloan dancing in the backfield. Loss of yardage. Looks to be around 2.
For a loss by Tyson Phillips. Loss of 2 in the play. 2nd and 12.
And sometimes you get some big breaks, like we've seen some excellent runs up the middle, and then you get one like that where the Heights defense reads KMC perfectly and is right there in the backfield.
Absolutely. It's nice to see some guys get some playing time. I mean, we got some JV guys who are getting some snaps here. We got Axel Ponde back on the far side as a receiver. We got Carlos Castro in there as well. Nice to see some of these guys who get an opportunity. Pete just dragging dudes with him.
Yeah, two guys he took that entire way. One of them, Tarek Johnson,
These guys,
a senior.
get an opportunity. Pete just dragging.
So an experienced player, too.
From the Falcon 35.
Yeah, and Pete Keller, only a sophomore. So he's got a lot of potential for growth. KMC looking to be in victory formation, taking a knee here.
It's always good to be in victory formation, right?
Yeah, that name right there. Very comforting.
It means things went pretty well for you that night.
Yeah. 56-0 here.
So,
I would say it was a very successful night.
Ray Nillian will take a couple negative plays here to end the game probably. And, as we look forward, this is the last game of the regular season. Playoffs will start next week. We talked about who we might be playing. We're looking at probably Rose Hill and then Ann Arbor Central if we can take care of Rose Hill. None of those games. I mean, I know we dropped down to 4A this year. We've been 5A for as long as I can remember. But there are some tough teams in 4A. So hopefully Capon got some kinks worked out tonight, and they feel a little bit more confident about what they're doing after coming off of a loss to St. James. And we'll see what they can do going into the playoffs next week.
Offense.
Yeah. And, yeah, like you were saying, although KMC going into the playoffs 6-2, there's still some excellent teams out there. And like we said earlier, anything can happen in the playoffs. Rose Hill, you can't doubt them. You got to go into every week like you have been all season long. Keep that process the exact same, and don't get ahead of yourselves on those games.
Absolutely. You gotta assume everybody's bringing their best shot every night. You got to be ready for everybody's best shot. So it looks like Capon's just going to take a couple delay games, and the clock will run out due to the Acacia rules.
Offense. That is the end of the game.
And as this one hits double zeros, final score is 56-0. KMC with their sixth win of the night. Heights takes another loss, dropping down to 2-6. As for tonight, I'm Andrew Guyer.
Before you sign off, we want to make one more special announcement. The player for Heights who was injured earlier, make sure you keep him in your thoughts tonight and going through the weekend. It looked to be very serious. We don't want to speculate on what actually happened or what the injury actually was, but we definitely want to keep him in our thoughts and put him in your prayers, and we hope he ends up okay.
Good catch there, Mr. Hebert. Dom Wells is the name of that player, so like Mr. Hebert said, keep him in your prayers, and let's hope that he has a good recovery.
Absolutely.
So signing off for tonight, I'm Andrew Guyer.
Will Hebert.
And thank you.
Thank you.